Hey everyone, welcome into Monteriggioni, the crown of Tuscany. I'm super excited to be here. It's always been a dream of mine to one day pack up, move to Italy, and start a winery. Now, I'll be the first to admit I have no idea how to make wine or even grow grapes. But I'm super excited to be here and have the opportunity to make this dream a reality. Back in the States, we saved up just shy of $1.2 million. And with the current exchange rate of €1 equaling 1.19 US dollars, that gave us 1 million euros here in Italy. And with that 1 million euros, we purchased this turnkey ready farm. And I use the term turnkey pretty loosely as some of this equipment is very old and very, very used. But this farm definitely has some potential. Now, we were able to pick this farm up because the previous owner passed away and the bank took it over, and it's essentially been abandoned ever since. So it's in desperate need of some cleanup, and the fields are in really, really rough shape. Unfortunately, this farm is not set up for growing grapes or making wine, but it does have a couple other unique features that made it well worth the purchase price, which after taxes and fees, we ended up spending 966,954 euros. So we definitely spent a lot of money, and we're down to basically nothing. We have 33,000 euros left, and that's it. No bank loans, no contracts. We can only make money off of this farm, so this is going to be very, very difficult. But we'll go ahead and do a quick little farm tour here before we jump into the work. So behind us is our house. It is exterior only, which is a bit disappointing, but that's okay. And here in the driveway, we have the Toyota Hilux AT3. Nice little pickup. Now, it's a tall pickup, but it's definitely a little pickup compared to what you'd see in the States. Now, over here is a onion storage. I'm very excited to try growing onions. It's probably going to be a couple of years before we get to it, but something I'm definitely excited to try. Now, here in the Monteriggioni area, it's known for wheat, barley, and spelt. So that's what we will be starting out growing, but the end goal is to grow grapes and make wine. Right next to it, we have a homemade trailer. There in the background, we have a Wilmar cultivator and a Case IH chisel plow, both of which will be getting put to use here very quickly. In this building here on the left, we just have some storage, and this is where some of the newer, nicer equipment is. We have the Kloss Disco mower here. Back here in the back, we have the Euromilk Rhino FXL 1000 HD feed wagon, which we will definitely be using at some point whenever we get some cattle, but we're not going to get cattle right away, as we just don't really have the money for it. And here we have our Bergman trailer. We'll be using that here very, very soon. Pick up the grass out of the field so we can get it dumped into our silage bunker. And through this door and this door is our first unique feature. And it is a dairy. So this farm came with its own working dairy. It is up and operational, so that's very, very good, and part of why we spent as much money as we did. So we'll be able to process goat milk and cow milk and make all kinds of different products out of here. And I'm definitely excited about that. It's great having that on the farm. So going to be a little bit before we get to use it, but I'm very excited for it regardless. Now across the driveway here is our chicken coop. We can hold up to 60 chickens in here. And that's something I want to try and get today, is pick up a couple of chickens. That way we can start selling some farm fresh eggs and making a little bit of money. And next to the chicken coop is our shop. So we'll start out in the back here. You can see some of this equipment is definitely old. We have the Sulky Master seeder here. This is from the mid-70s, so very old, very used, but honestly in pretty good shape considering the age. We have a John Deere 112 mower here. And that's definitely something we're going to be putting to use very soon as well. Now, all of this equipment is supposed to run. I haven't tried to start any of it yet. And most of it is either out of fuel or extremely low on fuel. I'm guessing somebody probably came by and siphoned all the fuel out the last few years. So that's something we're going to have to take care of here soon. Now, our big tractor here is the Fiat Agri 180-90 Turbo DT. Nice, big, powerful tractor. We'll be putting this on the cultivator. The chisel plow, probably have to use it with that Bergman trailer, just because of how big that trailer is. I don't think our other tractor will, if it does have enough power to pull it, it's definitely not going to have the brakes to stop it. Now, our combine is the Kloss Mega 208. You can see it's definitely very dirty. Everything's been sitting here for a few years, so not a surprise. Sure, everything needs cleaned up, maintenance to, a bit, but very excited to have it and put it to work. And then we have our Kloss header, Kloss C600 header, sitting on the header trailer. And this is probably my favorite piece of equipment here on this farm. It's the Fiat 682 N4. It's got the tipper bed on the back, holds 15,000 liters, and I'm super excited to use this. This is definitely something that's going to be on the farm for a very, very long time. And over here is our Zader 10145. This is going to be our dual tractor. You can see it's got the front end loader on it. And we're going to be using this tractor for, everything from mowing, raking, tedding, maybe try it on the baler. I'm not sure if it'll pull the baler or not, but we can definitely try it. Just a bit of everything. Fertilizing, spraying. It's going to be our dual tractor. Now, across the driveway here is our cow barn, and it holds 59 head of cattle. Has, obviously we can have milk in this one, so we will be getting dairy cows in this series, but it's going to be a few years before we can afford dairy cows. We're going to start out with the small animals that we can actually afford and work our way up to the big ones. We have a loader bucket sitting over here, which we'll definitely put to use at some point. And over in this storage shed, we have our Agromat sprayer and our Sipma fertilizer / lime spreader. Definitely going to be using these quite a bit here, and excited to have them on the farm. And this unique trailer, the Dan Greville trailer, this will be used for transporting animals, specifically our goats and cattle whenever we get to them. So it's a interesting looking trailer. Can't wait to use it. And this one is a chicken trailer. I haven't seen anybody else use it. I haven't used it, so I'm very excited to get this out and try and use it here today yet. And on the side of this storage shed is our bale storage. Definitely a little small, but we don't need a whole lot of bales on this farm, especially right now since we don't have any animals. And right here in the middle is our silo system. This thing is very old, very rusted, but everything is operational. And honestly, it's going to work out perfect for this farm. Cannot wait to use it and see, hopefully everything works the way I think it's going to. But you just never know with something that old. And in here, I'm calling this the hay shed. It's got most of our hay equipment except for the mower. We have the Kloss Liner 500 Profi L. This is our rake. We have the Krone Big Pack 120-80. This is our large square baler, so we'll be using that for all of our bales. And we have the Kloss Valto 60 tedder here, so this will turn all of our grass into hay. So that is our hay shed. And next to our hay shed is our goat barn. So goats are definitely something I want to get. Since we have that dairy, we can process goat milk, so not sure when we'll be able to actually get goats, but definitely something I plan on getting here on the farm. And on the back side of the shop here, we do have a fuel barrel. It is unfortunately empty, so we will have to get this filled up today in order to run basically any of our equipment. Here's our water trailer. Holds 3,000 liters of water. And something we're going to be putting to use here very, very soon. and we're going to be putting it to use to haul water down here. We have 2 greenhouses back here. So this, plan number 1 is get both of these greenhouses going as soon as possible, producing vegetables, as this area is very well known for its vegetable production, as well as the wheat, the barley, and the spelt. So we want to get this going as soon as possible so we can start, creating some money here. Or creating some revenue is what I should say. And on the backside of the greenhouses is our silage bunker. This thing is very old, but in relatively good shape, and it's going to work out perfect for this farm. So we're going to run back up, grab the pickup. We need to run into town, grab some fuel, and then we need to run to the greenhouse nursery and pick up some seed and fertilizer so we can get our own greenhouses going here. All right, we got the pickup hooked up to our trailer here, so we're going to go ahead and run to town, get some fuel in our gas cans, and then we can run to the nursery and get the seed and fertilizer picked up. All right, pulling out of the garden nursery here. We're all loaded up with some seed and fertilizer, and I got some fuel in the back of the pickup so we can try and get our loader tractor running so we can get this trailer unloaded. And it's really nice that the garden nursery is basically right behind our farm. So here's our water fill up, and you can see both of these fields that are dead and not looking great. They're ours. So we have a lot of work to do in these fields. They are in very bad shape, but they definitely have some potential. I'll give them that. So we own 3 fields in total, and there's definitely a lot of acres here and I shouldn't say acres, I should say hectares. That's going to take some getting used to. Saying hectares instead of acres, Celsius instead of Fahrenheit, and euros instead of dollars. So we're down to just under 20,000 euros. So we spent quite a bit of money already, and I'm really, really hoping that we can make some money off of these greenhouses pretty fast here. But we'll go ahead and get this parked. I'll grab one of the fuel cans out of the back of the pickup here and try and get that tractor started so we can get this trailer unloaded here. All right, we got the fuel can in the tractor, so we'll see if we can get this thing to fire up. And she's running. All right, perfect. So we don't have pallet forks, but the bale spike on the front of this tractor should be good enough to unload these pallets. At least I'm really hoping so. Otherwise, not really sure how we're going to get these unloaded. All right, we got our first pallet of seed off the trailer, and that honestly went better than I thought it would. So it'd help if I turn the right direction, that is for sure. There we go. Still getting used to where everything is on this farm. So that's one pallet unloaded into the first nursery, or first greenhouse, I should say. So we'll go ahead and get everything unloaded here, and I'll catch up to you guys when our greenhouse is ready to get fired up. So now we're hooked up to our water trailer, and we're going to head back to the water fill up and get this trailer filled up a few times. Probably going to haul 2 loads of water to each greenhouse. I honestly don't know how much I need. And I think I might go ahead and make a little path through those trees to make a little driveway to connect into this road instead of driving around those trees all the time. Because I'm going to end up just driving through my own crop eventually if I don't. So that's something else we can put on the list, for as far as our cleanup goes here. All right, so we got 3,000 liters of water, and that cost us 300 euros. So water is definitely not cheap here in Italy, and we're really going to need to make some money off of these greenhouses in order for them to pay for themselves. I'm really hoping they produce quite well, otherwise we're going to be in the hole and sitting really bad if they don't. But I'm going to go ahead and get, I'll go ahead and haul 4 loads of water, and I'll catch up to you guys when we're done with that and get these greenhouses fired up. All right, we got the greenhouses all full of water, seed, and fertilizer, so we'll go ahead and get these fired up. And we need to make sure we select the ones that say solid fertilizer and not manure. So once we get animals, we will be able to haul manure into these greenhouses, and I'm hoping that will double our production out of them. I honestly have no idea if it will or not, but you know, it's always a good way to get rid of manure regardless. All right, we got both greenhouses going here. So we've got chili peppers, garlic, lettuce, snap of cabbage, spring onions, strawberries, and tomatoes. So hopefully these produce quite a bit really fast, because we're down to 18,682 euros already. So we're going to go ahead, get the loader tractor hooked up to our mower, and we're going to go ahead and start mowing down the grass and get that picked up and put into our silage pit and get it fermenting and turning into silage, because silage is one of the best ways to make money in Farming Simulator, and we definitely need money. So our grass field is right here. So I guess technically we own 4 fields. If you want to consider this grass field its own separate field. It's not very big. It's not going to produce a whole lot, but anything is better than nothing at this point. So we're going to go ahead and see, hopefully get a lot of silage off of that field. And if not, well, we'll move on to, you know, like plan C or something. All right, we got the mower hooked up. We'll go ahead and fire it up, drop it down, and see how well this thing works on this tractor. So we're going to mow a lot. I'm going to definitely mow more grass than just our grass field here, because we need as much silage as we can possibly get. So going to go ahead, hammer out a bunch of mowing here, and you can see our other big field is right here. Also in just as bad a shape as everything else. So yeah, we got a lot of work ahead of us here, that is for certain. But we'll go ahead and hammer out this mowing. Seems to be going quite well. This mower definitely moves quite fast. Definitely faster than I was expecting, so this shouldn't take very long at all.
Man, I always had stories about the city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kinda miss this place I used to live back home. 'Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5, happy with the simple life. Yeah, I ain't here to try to change your mind, trying to save your time, in case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list. Girl, you can skip this funny business, 'cause up there it's complicated and overrated. Down here everything is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need, but there is breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. All my the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cool night. Yeah, and you can keep your 9 to 5, 'cause I'm happy with the simple life. Tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knew my name, and all my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, you can keep your 9 to 5, 'cause I'm happy with the simple life. Oh Lord, you can keep your 9 to 5.
All right, and with that, we are done mowing with this mower anyway. So we'll go ahead and get it put away. Now, the majority of this, I will not mow with this mower again. Just a lot easier to get some of these bushes cleaned up with this mower, since the John Deere definitely won't have enough power to cut through bushes like that. So we'll go ahead and get this put away. Hook up to our rake. All right, so we got our rake hooked up here. We're trying to get this figured out. Try to get all of this raked up, not on the road, so we can actually, you know, get it picked up here. Yeah, that didn't go well. We'll see if go in the other direction, get it pulled into the field instead of pushing it on the road will probably be a better option here. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get all of this raked up. We don't need to TED since we're turning this all into silage. And hopefully I can get all of this picked up. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get all of this raked up, and I'll catch up to you guys when we're ready to start picking it up with our forage trailer. All right, we just spent $3,300 on some fuel. We got our old tractor fired up here. I bought 2,000 liters of fuel. And yeah, we spent 3,300 euros on fuel. Not great, but definitely needed. So unfortunately, I don't have any silage additive, and I'm just not going to worry about it for now. So we're going to go ahead and get this grass all picked up here. See how this goes. Hopefully it goes well. This trailer fired up. Get lined up, and yeah, hopefully we get a lot of grass here. Get that drop down. And this tractor seems to be handling this trailer just fine. Now we'll see how it handles it when it gets fully loaded. That could be a completely different story, but so far, just starting out here, this is running very, very well. And try not to drive through the neighbor's yard there. So we'll go ahead and get some more of this picked up here, and I'll catch up to you guys when we get our first trailer load here, which shouldn't be too long. We've got 20% in here already, so that's a good thing. All right, we got a first trailer load here, and we haven't even touched our grass field or half of our headlands here, so we're definitely going to get a pretty good amount of grass here. Obviously never going to be enough, but not bad for our first cutting here, especially on a lot, you know, with grass that's not fertilized and not growing at its maximum potential. All right, we got our first load of grass dumped in the silage pit here, and probably shouldn't have backed up that far, but that's okay. Everything's going to be, you know, a bit of a learning process here. So we'll get this trailer fired back up, get it dropped back down, and we can head it back out here and pick up our second trailer load. All right, we got everything outside of our grass field picked up, so we'll go ahead and start picking up the grass field here. So we got a little over 1.5 trailer loads of just random grass out in the yard that needed to be cleaned up, so pretty happy with that. That's always a bonus. So we'll go ahead and get what's in this grass field picked up here. So it's going to be a little over 2 trailer loads. Not too bad. Honestly, more than what I was expecting. So that's going to give us plenty of silage to sell off here in the near future. All right, this is trailer load number 2. So we made it about halfway around our headland pass here on the grass field to fill up the rest of this trailer. Not too bad. Now I am noticing this tractor has plenty of power to pull this trailer, but when this trailer's loaded, it will push this tractor around. It is definitely a little big for this tractor. That is for certain. So I'll go ahead and get this dumped into our silage pit here. And I'm guessing I'm going to have to hook up get the bucket on our loader tractor and probably spread this grass out a little bit better in this bunker. Make it a little bit easier to pack the silage pit down. All right, we're coming up on the end of the grass field here, and we ended up with darn near 3 full trailer loads. I was definitely not expecting that. I figured 2.5 at the most, so very, very happy with how much grass we got. We'll go ahead and get this dumped into our silage pit here. Then we can get it leveled off and get it packed down. Once we get this silage all taken care of, it'll be time to hook up to our field cultivator and start tearing up some fields here. But that will be in the next one, so if you guys like what you're seeing, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.